Hi, guys. Good morning. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about our e-learning today, but most especially, I wanted to talk to you about our self-selected reading project. We are going to start our self-selected reading project for our e-learning Fridays. So it's going to be really important that you are choosing a book, but you can't just choose any book. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the books that you can choose and what this project can look like. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you, pardon me. I would like to switch to the window. There we go. That's what I want to look at right now. When you start and find your e-learning, guys, it's going to be in the slides just like everything else. I'm going to send you an announcement that's going to talk you through your e-learning. Clearly, you've already looked at that if you're here. Just like everything we do in the slides, it'll say e-learning daily agenda and have the date, and then it'll talk you through the agenda, and then there will always be a daily news message for you as well. Okay, I really want to focus though specifically on the pieces of self-selected reading that are really important. Okay, so let's talk about this slide just for a second. When we do self-selected reading, the reason we do it is because it builds our vocabulary. When we read just 20 minutes a day, as opposed to students who only read 5 minutes a day, you expand your vocabulary and multiply it tremendously. And then you often score higher on standardized tests, the 90th percentile versus the 50th percentile. Guys, that's a huge difference if you hadn't noticed. When we talk about self-selected reading, things that are important for me regarding self-selected reading, student choice in text is essential. So you will be able to choose from a wide variety of text. The list is extensive, beyond extensive. Now, the goal of that is to build habitual readers with conscious reading identities. I want you to know who you are as a reader and what you love to read. That is critically important to me because as an adult, when no one is telling you to read anything anymore, you still have to want and like to read. So I know as an adult that I love historical fiction. It's taken me a long time to get there. I don't read smutty romance novels. I don't read crime dramas. That's not my thing. I don't like gory. I don't really love to read sci-fi, but I love to read historical fiction. And I know that about myself. So when I search for books, that is what I look for. Yeah. So the goal of SSR is so that you continue to develop your own reader identity. You try on different genres and styles. You see what it is that you enjoy so that when you finish with school, you have a readerly life outside of school. All right. And then finally, this is from Richard Allington from National Council for Teachers of English. But I love this statement, so bear with me as I read it to you. Independent reading leads to an increased volume of reading. We know that. The more one reads, the better one reads. The more one reads, the more knowledge of words and language one acquires. The more one reads, the more fluent one becomes as a reader. The more one reads, the easier it is to sustain the mental effort necessary to comprehend complex text. The more one reads, the more one learns about the world and the people and the happenings of our world. This increased volume of reading is essential. So if you need to know the why behind self-selected reading, it's that. I want you to be a better reader. The way you become a better reader is to read more. The way you train yourself to read hard things is to read more. So that is what your self-selected reading assignment is going to accomplish. Okay. Now, here is the actual assignment. So I want to talk you through this slide, and this will be on your module in Canvas as well. You are to read 3 books of choice throughout the semester from any year of the Rosie Reader List. In the state of Indiana, we have this award called the Elliott Rosewater Award. It's named after a character from a Kurt Vonnegut novel. And this award is awarded by librarians and high schools, and people participate and they choose whether or not the book needs to be a Rosewater nominee. So the current list of Rosewater nominees is right here, the 2021 nominees. And there's a whole list of them right here. And I will tell you, our media specialist Mrs. Isom is fantastic about making sure that she has these books in our library, but they're also books you can get at the public library. Many of them are books that you can find online, or you can use certain apps to access them as well. Okay. And then past Rosie nominees are here. So there's the 2021-22 nominees. So those are the ones that are coming next. So you could read off of those. That means these books are really, really current. There are the nominees from last year. So the 2019-2020 nominees, and these are fantastic also. I've read a lot of these books actually. And then if you wanted, you can go to the past nominees list, and it has nominees from all of these different years with annotations and explanations, okay? Including the past nomination list, which I have it for you somewhere, I think. And this is like crazy long. Now, don't be afraid of a book from 0809 just because it feels like it's older. Like The Book Thief is on here. I don't know if you've read The Book Thief, but it's one of the best books I read in my entire life, right? Or American Born Chinese, guys. Again, one of the best books I've ever read. So don't be afraid to go back and dig into the sort of Wayback Vault to find books. But when I tell you that you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books to choose from, you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books to choose from. Okay. So I'm telling you that right now. What I really want you to do then, let's look through the rest of the assignment. You're going to read 3 Rosie readers throughout the semester. So you're going to pick at least one and then just get started on it, right? And then you're going to do this form called the literary profile for each of the 3 books. We will talk about that later. You haven't even started to pick your books yet, so I'm not going to overwhelm you with that form. But when we start to turn in that form or need to do that form, I'll talk you through it. And then the assignment for SSR is not due until May. I mean, you have a lot of time. It's going to be due, I think, like that second week of May is when I want you to turn it in. So you're going to have a ton of time, but every e-learning Friday, you're going to have a checkpoint. So you're going to have something you're going to have to do with SSR, whether that's just you read for 20 minutes and do like a little, little activity or bookmarky kind of thing, or give me a little review or an update, whatever. You're going to have some kind of checkpoint so that I can ensure you're actually making progress on this assignment. Okay. Now, newsflash. Like if I could, I don't know if I can make fireworks, but I'm making fireworks right now. For extra credit. This is the only extra credit you will get in this class this semester. Let me say that again. This is the only extra credit you will get in this class this semester. You may read 2 additional Rosie readers and complete 2 additional literary profiles. Those are worth 10 points each added to your SSR score. So out of 50, you could earn a 70. Does that make sense? If you do your extra credit. There will not be any other extra credit. And you don't need to decide right now if you need that or need to do it. But I am telling you right now that that is an option so that you could pace your reading a little bit differently if you're going to feel like you need to do all 5. Okay? Okay. So your task for today in the module, there is your own little SSR module, a self-selected reading module. And it has the Rosie Reader website link. It has the complete Rosie Reader PDF. It has the literary profile template that you can look at if you just want to see what you're going to be doing. And then it has the SSR literary profiles. Let's click on task 1.1, your book list, because that's what you're going to do for today. You're going to check out the Rosie Reader options on the website or the list. You're going to search for titles or genres that look interesting to you. Now, I'm going to talk you through this note specifically. These can be books, maybe, 1 or 2 of them that you've read before, like read before. Not that you've studied though in class. Like if you did a big deep dive into John Green's Turtles All the Way Down in 7th grade, I do not want you doing that, right? This is not about pretending to read. Let me say that again. This is not about pretending to read. This is about building a readerly habit. So you most likely will want to read things you've never read before, right? So find some stuff that's interesting and different and new that you can read, okay? And then your task today is to build a list of 5 books that seem interesting to you. Please don't pick just the first 5 on the Rosie Reader list. Like actually look for some things that you're like, that kind of looks like something I'd like to read. Because the more you do that work now, the less you have to like dig around to find things that are interesting later. Okay. So that is your task for today. Make sure that you get it turned in before it's due the 24th. So it's due, at the end of the night on Sunday or whatever. So you guys have some time. And then if you have any questions, you need to make sure that you talk to me, because this is going to be every single Friday for your e-learning. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. Enjoy today. Have fun looking through the Rosie Reader lists. And I'm super excited to see what you're going to be reading.